Endless scrolling on Reddit has led me to understand a few questions. These are my hot favorite questions on Reddit, and today I'm going to answer them in my own style. So let's get started without any further ado. So we all know what Reddit is. Reddit is a platform where people ask questions on certain topics, and I saw a few design and architecture interior related questions which were left unanswered, and I'm going to just try and sort of answer them in my own way with my own experience. So let's get started without any further ado. Welcome to my channel, The Serial Designer. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please make sure you subscribe to my channel and never skip another update from us. This is Architect Devanshi Choki starting off the Reddit face off. So endless scrolling on Reddit, and these are some questions which I came across, and I'm going to show them to you right here, and I'm going to answer them. So the first question here is architecture school really as bad as people say? I have been in architecture for the past 5 years, and I have an experience of 8 years. So I wouldn't say architecture is as bad as people say, because we are not understanding architecture here. Architecture just does not only mean building buildings, constructing buildings. It also is a sort of a process. So though I am not doing mainstream architecture right now, but I have so many other avenues which are open. And we've already discussed this on my channel, wherein there are various fields an architect can pursue, right from journalism, right from say content creation, or say interior design, or furniture design, product design. Landscape is there as well. So there are many other fields and avenues that one can pursue. One can do masters in project management or construction management. So if people are really good at organization and stuff, they can always go and go for all these courses rather than just doing mainstream architecture. Architecture, again, it's not only building your foundation, beams, column structures. It's much more than that. So I don't know why these people are coming up with these kind of questions, but I wouldn't blame architecture completely, and one should definitely go and pursue architecture with their fullest. Yes, there are a lot of reforms which could be better once the education system would develop. But there are a lot of colleges whose education system is really great, and the colleges are in Mumbai and are led by very very amazing mentors. Next row, architecture school feels outdated and romanticized. Architecture school feels outdated and feels romanticized. I don't really understand this question as of now. But I don't know how architecture school can feel outdated. I don't agree with this. In fact, when I studied architecture in a college, right now I follow the page of that college, and right now when I am seeing that what the college is doing, what are the students doing of that college, all I see is just so much evolution. All I see is just so much enthusiasm. So I don't feel it's outdated at all. I always feel that I could have done architecture differently now than ever. And I've also made a video on how I could do it better. So I think architecture school is just getting better. As I've already said, it's a process. And romanticized, because we are in the field of imagination. We sell ideas, we sell thoughts, we are ambitious, we have our own egos as well, which I am guilty. But again, architecture does not feel outdated, nor it is romanticized. I think the most the best works are done by creative people, and I totally agree with that. And if we are not into romance, who else would be? The history tells us that the best work is done by the romantics and the creative people. So yes, I don't agree. Struggling in architecture school, well, as I've already told you, yes, it's a struggle. Yes, a lot of time management skills are required. Yes, there is too much competition. But if I compare it to other courses, say MBA or doctor or lawyer or a CA, I believe every profession has their own challenges. Architecture is one of the courses as well. But I'm very happy, making models and drawings and building creative stuff and finding my own niche and way, rather than just doing a desk job, or just filling someone's shoes, or just doing a job itself. So yes, I am not disillusioned at this point, as it's written here. But yes, it is a struggle, but I think all courses have their own challenges and struggles, and nothing comes easy on a plate. Skill recommendations to a student from an architecture practitioner. Yes, I'm an architecture practitioner. I do interior design projects as well. I also do content creation. That's my channel. But I would really recommend a few skills. I believe the most important skill that is required right now, right here, is your communication skills. Extremely underrated skill. Software, Revit, your SketchUp, all softwares, Photoshop ho gaya, are taught in colleges. That is a part of your syllabus. Yes, you need them in the long run, but one of the most undervalued skill is communication skills. How do you deal with people around you? Architecture does not mean that you work alone. Architect works with a team. Interior designers work with a team. No movie or a theater is working alone. Everybody works in teams. Hence, architects also need to learn to work in a team, set aside their egos, learn to work in a team, and that is all that matters. You can learn a few things in the process. So when you're in architecture school, you're not, 100% trained. You are maybe 60-65% trained. Then 30-35%, the rest of the learning you get on site, dealing with people, dealing with contractors, dealing with other people. So skills that are most important are listening skills, learning skills, ability to learn, that is, and communication skills. People management and time management, productivity skills is required, undervalued, extremely undervalued in the industry. Also, one of the most important skills that I learned much later in my architecture were a few business tactics, because let's face it, architecture is a business, and that is important as well. Which laptop would be best for interior design? Well, you guys are lucky. I would not put down any names of laptops, but I do have a list of specifications and it is flashing right on the screen. You can just take a screenshot. So for which software, what kind of a laptop is required, you can definitely go and check these out. These are some of the specifications you can compare in other laptops as well. But I would prefer a Windows laptop for all your versions, because it has better memory, better processing power. But otherwise, in your Windows, you can choose any other laptop. Should I go to interior design school? Yes, yes, and yes. You need to go to an interior design school, take up a formal education. Nobody learns interior design online or through any YouTube video. It is impossible. Please take a formal education training, understand what your mentor has to say to you, and then go ahead. Yes, it's not necessary to take up 4 years, 3 years. You can even do a course as well. But yes, one should definitely be a part of an interior design school to make connections and start learning. After that point on, you can definitely, it's a steep learning curve. You can keep learning in the process. Like, I am yet learning a few softwares which I didn't know back then. But please, after a formal education training, one can do whatever they want. There are people I know in the industry who have not taken any formal education training, but their path was difficult. What they faced, the challenges were much more. uh, it takes longer to reach a certain mark, but if you've taken formal education, you will be there faster, because you've already made those networks and connections back in your architecture or interior design school days. Is studying architecture really as demanding and time consuming as people say it is? Again, a lot of courses are time consuming. Who doesn't consume time? Yes, architecture consumes a little bit more time. It is a demanding course, but it does give results once you are into it. It has a reputation of being a little demanding, But in the long run, architecture does change a lot of perspectives of people. And I know for a fact that people are doing great in the industry, and I really aspire to once, I look up to a few of my mentors and a few of the people I adore in the industry. So yes, it is demanding, it is time consuming, but I believe all the courses are difficult in the long run. And I believe in one thing, one notion, that if it's demanding, if it's time consuming, that does not mean you don't need to do the course or you don't do it at all. If you are interested, if you're passionate about it, then I don't think it's going to be time consuming. You won't feel that it's time consuming because you are passionate about it. Now, if you are not passionate about design at all, if you're not conscious of the environment, if you're not conscious in general, if you're not sensitive to that, then yes, you will find the course very demanding, very time consuming. But if you love what you're doing and if you really respect what you're doing, it shouldn't seem this way. What's it like to be an interior design student? uh you should definitely go and ask my students what's it like to be. But once, I guess, because I was a student before as well of a design school, I think what it liked to be a student was, just gaining knowledge from wherever. And, I was very enthusiastic in all the projects that I did. And I was, I used to get into group projects a lot. I used to get into competitions as well. So yes, it's different to be an architecture student. But I think this question, one should ask the student of today what he or she feels, because they have so much more exposure than what I had back in the day, because of YouTube, because of Instagram. There is so much content and stuff out there. So now, if a student can answer this question, it will be great. So make sure you comment in the comment section, what do you feel about this question? I want to know what your views are on this question rather than me giving out a view. What do you learn in interior design school that makes it worth the money and time? Or well, you learn the fundamentals, you learn the basics, you learn the basics of the environment, you learn about activities around you, how things are placed around you, why a phone is designed the way it is, why a bottle is of a certain shape, why the chair or the bed you are sitting on is made the way it is, how things around you are, is something an interior designer understands, and it creates a space for you. Yes, it is going to be worth the money and time, supported you are extremely passionate about design. And moreover, what you learn in interior design school is, I've already mentioned before, is the ability to process and research. Who will teach you research? How do you make sound decisions? Is something that you learn in design school. It's not only drawings, softwares, again, it's a part and parcel of the whole course. But I think being sensitive to your environment is something you definitely learn. And being able to process, think and research is something that you learn in a school. Again, skills, drawing skills, sketching skills are skills, but thinking, design thinking is the core subject here. People have this wrong notion that softwares is something you can just learn online. But I don't believe you can learn thinking online. How do you brainstorm? How do you deal with people around you? How do you work in a team is something you only get to learn when you study interior design in a formal education. And yes, 100% worth the money and time. There's another question. Any ideas for interior design theses? Well, I have already made a video on how to choose a thesis topic. So I would not, just randomly give out ideas, because every person is different. Every designer thinks differently. Every designer has his or her own taste. So I wouldn't give, this question out, but you can definitely go and check my video out on YouTube, wherein I've given a very easy way on how to choose a thesis topic according to your hobbies, according to your interests. And thesis is something that you have to live with for a year and a half. So it should be chosen according to your liking, according to the person that you are. If I would suggest you something, it's probably not going to be great for you. and you probably would not like that. I still love my thesis topics. Both of them are really close to my heart. Like, I was always into history. So yeah, my thesis topic was related to the archives and history and humanities as a subject. So yes, please choose a thesis research topic that you connect with. How did you survive architecture school? Well, I have already made a video on how I survived my architecture school, and what if I wanted to redo architecture in another way. So that was a little perspective that I had, after pursuing my education in architecture and going ahead, into content creation, into interior designing, and into academics as well. But one thing I would really suggest you, right now, right here, is there is no survival. I have spoken to a lot of my friends who are in various different fields. Uh, when I hear their stories, for them it was making presentations, or giving a few exams, going to meetings. And when I remember my architecture school, though yes, there were a lot of late nights as well, because yes, I was not great at time management. But now that I go back in time and see, I was busy making drawings, models. I was busy brainstorming. I was doing research. CA, I would not, put myself and indulge myself into books only. Architecture gave me a new perspective. Architecture gave me a way of seeing. Architecture also gave me a lot of exposure to buildings, to monuments, to people. It taught me people management because there was a lot of teamwork. I wasn't alone in my journey of architecture. So I think this is something that I would really recommend. That there is no survival in architecture school. It's just that if I compare it to other courses of my field, of other fields as well, I would still choose architecture once again, because I had a lot of fun in architecture. Though when I was in that process, I was not finding it, uh, very satisfying. But now that I see and I hear from other people that what they've gone through, well, I was busy making drawings and models, and I'm very happy for that. What are some of the most serious problems concerning the architecture profession? Yes, there are a few serious problems that do concern my architecture profession as a whole. But as a fraternity, I think we all are really growing. And yes, times are changing. The way people are perceiving architects and architecture is changing, is evolving, but we are in the process. But one of the most serious problems in architecture right now is paid to interns, or junior architects are not paid enough. And the most important one is that just because too many architect colleges are coming up, there is a lot of competition in the market. So that is one definite practice. Also, setting up an office is really an investment. A lot of real estate developers, who have the financial background, have taken over, and they have started taking design decisions. Well, they do not have that degree or that design aesthetic in place. So they have started taking over a few design decisions, which is again a problem to us. So yes, there are some concerns, but I guess people who are really good at their work, through word of mouth, they are getting work by God's grace. And I think it's all about just evolving as a person, evolving as an architect, and adjusting with other people and consultants as well. Say, for example, because there are a lot of stakeholders involved in a process, say AC consultant, or you have your HVAC consultants, you have structural consultants, you have maybe lighting consultants. So architect is never going to work alone. Architect is not supposed to work alone. He works in a team, he or she works in a team. So yes, there are concerns there as well, but I think as a whole the field is evolving. It because people have started going abroad. People have, they have the financial background to go abroad and see. So because people are getting more and more exposed to abroad and other countries, yes, people are coming back with expectations from architects, a better aesthetically, and a sound country and a developed country as well. So yes, architecture is changing, but it's a process. Recommendations for schools or interior design programs? Well, I wouldn't say schools, but this was a question I think asked somewhere elsewhere. It's not an Indian question. But I would definitely suggest you to pick up a program, check the syllabus online. There are n number of courses for interior design. Say we have B vocational, that is your bachelor of vocation. Then we have B honors, or by the Mumbai University. Then people have space design as a course. There is interior design in masters and in PG courses, postgraduate, that is. So there are also a few private courses which are online as well, but I don't know how authentic they might be. There are also 1 year degree courses in interior design, and the people who have a little backing in the creative industry, can just take up a crash course on interior design. Well, there are a lot of other YouTube videos as well, and I, for a fact, know a few people who do are doing interior design from these courses. Again, yes, it is a struggle, and I think I've already made a video on, if freelancing or doing a job is better, but you can also check that video out as well. But I believe taking a degree, authentic degree in interior design, is definitely going to make your fundamentals stronger, and you will struggle less in the future. So yes, any recommendations for interior design programs? There are many. It just depends on how much time you have. Say if you have 3 years, 4 years, please do a bachelor's. If you've already done your bachelor's in some other subject, then you can go for a master's in degree as well, which is also available in the Mumbai University. And there are endless other universities which also offer their degree courses. So please go check them out. But before that, please, 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 go through their syllabus, what they are offering, who are the mentors, what is the qualification of those mentors who are offering that degree, is also extremely important. Never go by just the infrastructure of the institution, or what they're offering. It doesn't really matter. What matters is what kind of mentors that you are going to learn from. So yes, these are my questions on Reddit Face Off. Let me know how this video was in the comment section. Never skip another update from us. Press the subscribe button immediately and check our beautiful podcast which we do online. And also never, never skip another update. Keep commenting, keep liking our videos, and let my channel grow. If I grow, you grow. It's my guarantee.